Alright.
So let's...
Live. Supposedly.
Supposedly, that's what YouTube is telling me.
I'm going to check the audio here. Get going.
Get going.
Test. Test. Okay, I got audio echo.
Now I gotta try to fix that.
Oh, I think I know what's causing it. Alright. I think that fixed it.
Hope.
If not...
Let's go ahead and get started. Alright.
So I've got the
box set.
Stormtrooper box set.
We're ready to go.
Crack it open.
Just gonna crack it open. And we got instructions, tokens, bases, and individually bagged stormtroopers. Cool.
Very nice.
Very nice. So this is how they suggest constructing the 7 troopers.
But I think we're going to customize a little bit. Saw people online cutting the tabs off.
So they could do customs.
Go ahead and get that out. actually, I haven't even really
paid attention to what the cards do.
I've been going into this blind. Let's take a moment to look at these. So we got add an additional Stormtrooper for 11 points. Can add the DLT Stormtrooper for 24. Can add the HH12 Stormtrooper for 34. Probably be worthwhile for anti-T-47 shenanigans. And ATRT. You got impact grenades, which is exclusive. No, that's not exclusive. It's the grappling hooks. The grappling hooks are exclusive to the expansion. You don't get these in the standard set. You gain expert climber. Yay. At least I have that card. I don't have to worry about it. Would have been nice if they gave me 2 of those. Let's see here. Stormtroopers. They are precise. 1. When you spend a name token, reroll up to 1 additional die. Probably should move my finger there. So they can have a heavy, another trooper, and then these 2 extra upgrades, which are the grenades, and then the grappling hook thingy. If they're unarmed, that's their attack. And that's their attack with their E11 blasters. Only 1 hit point. Looks like. And their speed 2. I think that's what that means. I don't know. Some of the playthroughs that I watched online were not very good. I had to sit down and read the rules tonight. But we got our bases. Most importantly, got the glue. Now I've been concerned about the quality that I've been seeing of the troopers. And looking at them. I don't know. There's definitely little bits here and there. On this one guy. I'm sure I could really. Yeah, I mean, you got mold lines. I mean, you're going to have that. But I don't think he's as bad as other things. Let me see if I can't get the light to be better. Just got a whole brand new light system. You would hope it'd be better. It's going to sound really awful, so forgive. I'm not even using that. Why is it attached to the camera? Not even using it. And then for my next trick, hang on, guys. I don't think anybody's watching. So if they don't think anybody's watching, that's a plus. No one's watching. Adjust on the fly. Well, that's super hot. Help, I'm going blind. Blinded by the light. Coming, Lisbeth. I'm coming. Okay. No! That sucked. So The way I've got this all jury-rigged.
The way I've got this all jury-rigged, it's kind of a crapshoot.
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
I have everything just kind of...
going all over the place.
Going all over
the place. And it's like spaghetti and it's a mess.
Anyone who's gamed at my house...
Anyone who's gamed at my house and knows that it's...
The gaming area is a fucking disaster.
Alright.
So that seems to be a little bit better. Just a little bit.
Let me
see if I can't lower this
a little bit.
Risk a little more light.
Yeah.
I think that's better.
I think that's better.
Alright, much better. So yeah. I mean, there's some issues. Some. But I think it's bound to happen. I've seen someone say that you could just balance these
on the
bases and play that way.
The bases and play that way.
Let's test that.
Let's test that.
Happening.
No, that's not happening.
That's one of the stupidest things
one of the stupidest things I've seen.
You got to put these together. These are
definitely a symbol.
You can't get around that.
Sure, the guns you can just plug in.
And you're good to go. But everything else. No. It's like... Oh no. It's like a tight fit. Kinda. Bam. Detail's pretty damn good. I have to say. The
detail's pretty good.
I'm pretty pleased with it.
I'm pretty pleased with it.
The pictures on the interwebs
don't do it justice.
So at least for this one box of Imperial
Stormtroopers so far.
It's looking pretty good.
Looking pretty good.
Yep. A little bit part there to clean. This is our DLT Trooper. Gotta just finagle it in there, but
there he is.
All right. We got our leaning dude with the bazooka. Yeah, so his leg plugs in that way. And that plugs in there. Again, just little spots where they clipped it off their sprue
before packing.
And some little mold lines.
Very little minor mold lines.
So that won't be too hard to clean up. Oh no, the audio is still duplicated.
Alright, hang on.
No. I think that did it. Let me know if that fixed it. Thanks, Blackhawk. I appreciate it. I'm thinking that should do it. Yeah. Yeah, that did it. I just popped on my headphones. Sweet. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Alright. Let me take my headphones off again. Yay! That was the chair. That was not me, I swear. Alright. So, yeah, just a little bit of stuff to clean up. All in all, not too bad. Not too bad at all. This is kind of a surprise to me, though, on the Commander. And this what kind of sucks. Is he's modeled with his arm being in that pose. I thought that was definitely going to be a plug-in. And I was actually counting on that for a conversion. But, I mean, he's easily the easiest one to build. Oh, I say that as the arm just flies right out. Yep. Again, let's try that test that you don't need glue to play this game. Nope, you do. You need glue. God, that's so stupid. I can't believe people thought that. Alright, so let's go ahead and clean that guy up. Or, you know, I'm kind of curious. I'm going to open the Rebel Troopers, and I can clean them at the same time. Again, I don't feel like these models surpass Games Workshop quality. And I don't think they're meant to. But it's inevitably what they'll be compared to. I think they're more along the lines of, let's say, a Mantic release rather than a Games Workshop release. Though the detail is pretty damn good. It's not as soft as I feared. So we got our bases. Yay. And individually bagged minis. This is blowing my mind, though. I really... Whoop. I'm really in the mentality that I gotta have sprues, and I gotta put these together. Oh, sweet. It's one of the female troopers. Nice. You can tell right there. Not to be sexist or a pig or anything. But I am glad that they included female troopers. Especially with how prominent they are in the new fluff. And there's our Duro. Cousin race to Nemoidians from episode 1. Yeah, again, just slight mold lines and little tidbits. I've thought about not gluing the arms on before I prime them, but I'm probably going to do that. I'm probably going to glue the arms on to make it more difficult for myself. So here's the not Rex. That's definitely going to get painted as Rex, even though I know they're going to come out with a Rex down the road. They have to. He was at the Battle of Endor. Alright. Then we got our heavy weapons guy with his backpack. And that just plugs right in the back there. And then the gun. Nice. Nice relic of the Clone Wars there. So this, I think, is the grenade launcher dude, or is it the flamethrower dude? I'm not sure. But he's got a removable head. So I know I've seen a couple people post 3D sculpts of alien heads, so that would be a good one to do an easy head swap for. Just depends if that gun's worthwhile. And then we get our... Oh god, he's got no legs! His legs are right there. So that just push fits in. Arms push fit. A little bit of crap on the top of the head. But overall, quality of plastic wise, it's not that bad. Something I would say comparison to that I've got right here with me is if you look at this Reaper Bones Cav unit, that I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but the plastic isn't that great that they used for it, and the details are kind of soft. This has got more detail to it, but it still isn't as sharp as a Games Workshop Mini. But that's okay. So let's go ahead and start sanding. Yep. I say that. Give me 1 second. Whoop. There we go. Yay. Problem resolved. Okay, so I'm going to bust out my tools, my files. And I had some like little Tamiya plastic sanders, but I don't know where the heck they went to, because I'm a disorganized jerk. So let's go ahead and start cleaning up spots. It seems like all the stormtroopers have this little joint here, like right here between the armor plates. That's where they get cut off their sprue at the factory. So he's got a slight mold line that runs down here. Yeah, I think the hobby knife is going to be better than the files. Now he's got battle damage. I'm okay with it. But you do have a giant mold line that goes across the crown of the head there. Easily removed. And there. I would share that the plan is to get everything assembled tonight so I can prime it all tomorrow and then have it all painted by Sunday. I would tell you that that's the plan. Whether that comes to fruition or not, that's another story. So Blackhawk, did you end up buying any of Legion, or are you kind of on the fence, or just waiting for there's more content to come out, or anything? A little bit. Oop. You need glue. There's no way. And that's probably about the 6th time I've said that. Just still can't get it out of my head. Just use that blade, clip that down. Slight mold line there. There's one right there. Gotcha. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm probably going to end up using these miniatures for a game that's not even the core game. I probably won't be playing Legion with this. I'm probably going to end up playing an old West End Games version of Star Wars from 30 years ago. Or using it for Rogue Stars, or just painting them and having them sit on my shelf. I've got a lot more Mech Warrior stuff or Battletech stuff to paint too. An incredible amount left. So what are you rocking in Mech Warrior? What's your favorite mech or unit to run, or favorite lance combination? Yep. Put a little too much glue there. A little too much glue. I need something. Something, something, something. Something, something dark side. Something, something. Well, I have to have something. That is something. So one thing I'll say about the Loctite is if using it as a glue, it will fill gaps. You got to be careful you don't put too much on. Stay put, Mr. Trooper. You got some rebels to use as target practice. Alright. Just a little dab. Yep. That's in there. I was actually reading about horror stories online about gaps needing to be filled. These aren't that bad. But to be fair, I heard it more about the rebels than the Imperials. Uh-oh. Something popped up. What popped up? What? Okay. I'm not seeing a line there. I got that. It really seems like the biggest lines, mold lines on the Stormtroopers are going to be on their thighs and across that crown on the helmet. Get a little bit of a one there. And I know I said I wasn't going to use the files anymore, but on this one, this is being stubborn. There we go. There we go. I got it. And I will cover up any potential damage with paint. I'm used to doing that. That's why everything has battle damage when I paint it. Actually, that piece looks pretty damn solid. This is not bad. There's like a little bit there. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Catapult. So you're rocking a catapult with 2 MRM-20s and a 4 missile launcher. That seems deadly. I like the Uziel build that you just mentioned though. 2 racks and then 2 ER medium lasers and an SRM-2. I don't have a catapult or a Uziel and MWO. I don't have either. The Uziel is one of my favorite inner sphere mechs from how it looks. That was a mistake. I just haven't been able to justify buying it, or if it's available for C-bills. I have nowhere near any C-bills at all. I spend my C-bills as soon as I get them. All right. You see, Jimmy Christmas. All right, so he can actually sit. He actually has mold lines going down the front of his leg there, but who cares? No one will see that because he's kneeling. All right, Mr. DLT. Let's go ahead and take that arm off. But the catapult, I imagine, is freaking deadly with MRMs. I slapped, I have an MRM 40 launcher, I believe, on my Atlas 7. I just haven't had a chance to really master the use of it. Most of the time I'm tooling around in a clan mech with ATMs, or if I'm playing at all anymore, it's usually in my Mad Cat 2. And for my Mad Cat 2, I use 4 ER medium lasers in the torso, 2 in each side torso, and then 2 LBX 20s. And I just kind of wait till they kind of get to that medium range, hit them with the medium lasers, and then start chewing their armor off with the LBX 20s. It's a good support mech. If I've got a good group with me, I can do well in it. I am not the strongest MechWarrior Online player solo-wise. I really thrive with a good team. I think part of it, and just being honest here, is I don't understand strategies in it. Like, I think I do, but it's pretty clear that I do not. Alright, Mr. DLT, you are glued. You need a... And he'll stand. Okay, so we can play the game without gluing him on his base. Beating a dead horse much. So let's go ahead and move the loyal sons of the Empire. The good guys of the story. Over there. So it's available for C-bills. Well, hot diggity damn. Lerms. I love Lerms. Sitting back with LRMs. That's a joy. Okay. Got that removed. Oh, that sound. I mean, you can tell. I mean, trying to clear the mold lines is not like trying to clear the mold lines if you had a GW model. And I hate to keep going back to that well, but this material does act a lot like that Mantic Restic. Or if you got into the Mercs Kickstarter, that type of plastic. I just... Detail's a hell of a lot better. But I just hate dealing with it. Boom. TK, whatever, reporting for duty. God, they're tall. So, like, comparison shot, that's a stormtrooper, right? I mean, we can agree that it is. Because it is. But here's a Games Workshop Plague Demon. He towers over the Plague Demon. Now, the Plague Demon is kind of hunching down, and the base is slightly smaller, height-wise, than the Plague Demon, but I mean, they really are bigger. They are a lot bigger. Yeah, push. Is it bad that every time I see Easy Peasy, I think of the beef? You go, Easy Peasy. Have you tried the Vulture with the LRM-20 and the 6 ER mediums? No. However, my Vulture has, I want to say, 8 LRM-5 launchers. And so I just spit LRM-5s out in rapid fire. But that might get me to try that right there. 6 ER mediums. Jeez. I mean, do you worry about overheating with that? Now I want to say easy peasy all the time. Easy peasy. I'm the beef. His channel's so good. It was one night I got into a match and he was on my team. Oh no! I was marking out hardcore. It's like, oh my god, I'm playing with the beef! Oh my god! It's like the first one to die. Alright. This guy, I will say, was a little bit awkward to get those arms in that peg. And I can see why some people are complaining a little bit of separation. But, I mean, come on, let's be realistic. I mean, you're going to have... That's not going to bolt all the way up against the shoulder to give no mobility. That's not bad. But again, we have not gotten to the Rebels yet. Rebel troopers are apparently the ones that will do you a concern. Oh man, I didn't put them down hard enough. All right. You gonna set? You're set. Nope, you're not set. You're nowhere near set. If I put a little bit extra glue on there, it's not going to be a big deal because it'll just be covered up by flock. And we sit here and hold it. "12 flamers on a Black Hawk with 2 heavy..." That's awesome. I was enjoying running around with my Piranha with nothing but machine guns. Being a little ankle biter. He teleported his locust? Oh, wow. So are you suggesting that he used an exploit for that? Or it was just a random bug? Because I often wonder sometimes about the gamers that are out there on YouTube or Twitch. About how much they exploit. I mean, it happens. Do I need to clean anything off the gun? I mean, for the most part, I mean, the arm pieces, like I said before, are pretty damn clean. Not really any mold lines. That's shocking. I think when I open my core set, I will customize the arms of the stormtroopers. So that way not everybody looks the same. Yeah, I'm going in like a reverse order. I'm opening the expansions first, then opening the core set. Alright. So that seemed like, what, 20 minutes maybe to put those together? Oh no, 46. Holy shit. Well, that was not quick. Alright. Get the lead out. So, Rebels. Rebels get the red bases. One thing I do find interesting is on the bottom of the base, you do have like the Fantasy Flight logo and then the Lucasfilm Limited copyright there. Just interesting. Not that I think that they own the copyright on the base, it's just that they can't put it on the miniature. So they put it on the base, so you know that it's copyright by them. It's kind of like when you look on the bottom of the feet of like a Hasbro or Kenner action figure, you'd have that stamp there too. Gotta denote it somewhere that that is a property owned by somebody else, not you. Oh, got it. So was it the... I would imagine he used the Pirate Bay to get behind you with the ECM. That's what I would imagine. If he outmaneuvered you that way. Well, that's pretty awesome. The heavy weapons Rebel is actually female. Or one of the heavy weapons. Awesome. Come on, you. There we go. So, overall, I think the pictures online don't do it justice, and I was freaking out over nothing. I was really panicking over the detail of these guys. They're not bad. Oh, I wasn't making the insinuation that everybody on Twitch cheats. I stream on Twitch too, and I have no idea what I'm doing just playing. I'm sure there's some people that do, though. There's got to be... With any type of like computer game, there has to be a way to exploit it. What's up, puppy? What's wrong? You lonely because I'm not upstairs? Sorry, Toby. So, where I was saying there was no mold lines on the Imperial arms, I just now noticed that there are mold lines on the Rebel arms. It's like the reverse. Nothing on the body. It's funny. Yeah. These are pretty stout. But if you ever want to see how bad I play, just look me up on MechWarrior Online. Guarantee you I'll be an easy kill. I'm only rank 3. Heavy weapons complete. So there we go. There's our Captain Rex. Or Nick Sant, if you refuse to believe that Rex was at Endor. Yep, I am Probable Cause on Twitch. I think I got a link to it on my YouTube homepage. But yeah, I'm on Twitch under the same thing. Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, everything. About the only thing I don't have is my library card under that. Perhaps I should. But in regards to, like, again, MechWarrior Online, I feel like that one's a bad mold line there on that helmet. That was actually easier. Just shave it off instead of scrape it. Yep. They've got so many mechs out there now. The meta is just incredible. You have so much variation and so many things to choose from. I mean, it's hard to believe when I first started playing at launch that you didn't have, but maybe 20 choices. It's pretty incredible how much that game has grown. Whether you play for free or you play to win on that. I mean, that game, I really feel like, yeah, the new hotness is kind of like initially overpowering, but you can work your way around it. I don't think there's, in my personal opinion, a mech that gives you an auto win every time. Although there have been some that have come close, but nothing that's too ridiculous. I'm really digging the Duro. I just wish there were more non-humans in the set. I like the idea that the Rebel Alliance is got that mix of freedom fighters or terrorists from all across the galaxy. Whichever side you politically lean, whether it's Empire or Rebellion. Uh-oh. So, what do we got here? We have a problem. Alright, so it plugs in, right? Right there. Yeah. So now I see it. So he's got a huge gap right here where that peg is coming out. So, in order to fix that, LRM 80 supernovas. Cut that out. LRM 80. That's supernova. I bought that pack. I was so disappointed with it. I expected more. But perhaps I shouldn't have. You, my friend, will be the first green stuff recipient. That's unfortunate. I had high hopes for you. I didn't get the chance to play in beta. I missed that. If I could go back in time, I probably would be a founder. I'd have signed up for one of those founder packages. But alas, when you're broke... Well, let me rephrase that. When you're playing Magic the Gathering and you're addicted to that, that kind of dominates your hobby budget. Yep. I ain't going to start dry fitting these rebs. Because that gap, that's pretty bad. That is pretty bad. But I'm not pulling that arm out. Now that I got glue on it. But at least I know what to look for in the next couple. When I open that starter. Yeah, Supernova was boondoggle. It's much better in tabletop than it is in MechWarrior Online. It's just really fluffy that they made it in MechWarrior Online. I know they are introducing Solaris to MechWarrior Online. I'm just worried about them eventually shutting down MechWarrior Online if 5 takes off or they decide to replace MechWarrior Online with like MechWarrior Online 2. I have spent some coin on some mechs in that game. Yeah. Well, that was pretty... Now he's got legs. He needs arms. Nothing really bad there. Dry fit. Don't be a moron. Nope, that goes in pretty well. Push that in there. Boom. So no gaps on that one. It's just the two that had the gaps, and I think that's mostly due to the damn peg. So just cutting off the peg or trimming it down should alleviate the problem or the need for green stuff. Again, it's the quality of materials. Yeah. Fits. If it fits, it sits. Put the glue in. All right. Boop, ba-doop, ba-doop. Boom. Yay, Rebel Forces! So, let's put together next the ATRT. Yeah, I could. That's actually not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. So again, cards. You have this big old box, right? The big old box, and I know I can't zoom out any further because that's the way the camera is. I mean, it's. But you have this big old box, itty bitty little tray with crap in it. Not that the game is crap, mind you. I just meant the stuff that's in it. Let's go ahead and move the other boxes. Okie dokie. So, ATRT, ATRT, ATRT. So, I'm actually curious. Again, I have been a bad fan of this game. I have not really followed any of the articles or read anything. Just been hanging out on forums and watching people theory hammer. And so let's see here. You got the ATRT rotary blaster. That's 30 points. Fixed front, so they got to be in your front arc. But 5 black dice at range 1 through 3. That seems good. The ATRT laser cannon. Range 2 to 4. Oh. Yeah, that's impact 3. If it's got armor, change up to 3 of your hits to crits. Okay. Flamethrower. That's probably what I would take. Because I know that takes care. Yeah, it has blast. So ignores cover. No point in hiding. Long range comlink. I believe that also comes in the speeder bike set. And same with the comms jammer. And I believe the comms jammer is the one that's exclusive to the set, the expansion. You don't get that in the core set. I hope they don't get rid of it. I mean, I really hope that MechWarrior Online stays around for a long, long time. Alright, so let's look at these instructions. So we got, that's our laser cannon, flamethrower, rotary blaster. That just sounds so promising. Then you got the pistons that you connect to the hull and the legs. Okay. I think I got this. I think this will be self-explanatory. I'm hoping. Hoping. Oh, so there's the legs. And it looks like the front panel too. gonna have so many of these little plastic baggies after this is all said and done. Okay, so the legs are monopose. There's no customization with that. And it just goes on there. Okay. I bet that actually looks pretty badass. You could probably make a really sweet science fiction style bike just from this piece right here. It looks like it's exhaust. You cut that off there. You got your pedals. It'd be a nice little hover bike for a sci-fi game. Looks pretty awesome. Let's get the detail in there. Remove that front. Boop. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. I'm going to put together the ATST here next. I've got 2 of those. Alright, so we got our gun options. And then there's this pistons, and then there's the antenna. Oh, that's going to break. That will break. That is so fiddly and smo. That is going to break. Smo. So smo. We got our driver. Backpack. Which the backpack has a little bit of crap on the back of it. Now it's gone. So smo. Got a little bit of crap there on your shirt there, bro. Now that's gone. It handles. Alright. Well, it looks like it's pretty self-explanatory. So let's go ahead and do this. Boop. Little dab of glue. Now, there we go. The pegs are shaped to position the legs in a certain way. So you really could customize it if you really wanted to. You would just have to cut the pegs or and drill your own bits there to position the legs, which I may do for the second one. I don't want them both looking the same. It seems like a waste. Let's do that. Alright. Oh no! ATRT down. Alright. The pistons. Yep. Alright, so that's how the pistons work. Yep, and just clip right in there. Yeah, it's neat. Neat. Nope. See you when you get back, Quick Strides. Dacka Lord. Alright, so again, that goes there. And push. And I probably put this together in the wrong order, but I don't really care because it still fit. Sweet. The legs are done on the chicken walker. glue his backpack on. Just kind of get an idea of how he's going to sit on that. So that's a conundrum, actually. Do I glue him on and just paint around him? Tempting. Very tempting. Alright. And so this guy, Little Antenna Jones. Oh, I'm sorry, Trooper. Oh, I put on way too much glue there. That sucks. Alright. And there was a little bit of flash on that antenna, but I am not going to even bother to try to scrape that or clean that. I just foresee me breaking the damn thing. And I just don't want to deal with that. So with the bigger vehicles, you have to put them, that's their front arc. So I have to put it like this. To denote its front arc. Press down. And so the next question is, what do I arm it with? It needs to dry. It needs to cure. I need to stop fucking with it. This guy can go sit over here and think about what he's done. Because I'm wondering if you can just slide them up, but I bet you can't because there's nothing to hold it into place and it's just going to fall out. Alright. So, let's open something else. ATSTs, ATSTs. That's a slight difference. Oh boy. That's comical. Okay. So you saw in Return of the Jedi, right? That this thing had the two drivers, and once they got thrown out, you had Chewbacca, and I think it was like 2 or 3 Ewoks. I want to say 2. I mean, I guess I could believe that. I guess. It's possible. I think the detail on this is acceptable. And I think it'll look good once painted. But I'm just... I love the... I mean, even the movie version doesn't have a lot of detail on it. I just think that there was an opportunity to put more detail on this. And there isn't. It's very, very basic. But you can't please everybody. Let's see here. So this is probably the most complicated model that they've released. The snow speeder is actually pretty simple. There's not a lot going on with that. You just got to glue on the wings. So you just got to assemble the legs first is what they suggest. So they say get those leg joints together. Get them together. I'm going to be equipping mortars on my ATSTs. I don't know about anybody else, but they're getting mortars. Actually, I'm probably just going to equip both of them with everything and just let it ride. Alright, and then after that, I need these. So after I get the legs assembled, gonna need those. Alright, so what's nice about these is they do tell you, I don't know if you can see it, it says L for left, so you know that's the left leg. So by process of elimination, that's right, because it's got the R. And that's right. So it has to be left, right, and left. Okay. So we'll start with the left leg. And they've got it positioned like that. Move that there. It's getting crowded. Alright, that seems simple enough. Just goes right there. ATSTs. Boom. Now the brilliant thing about the Loctite is it dries super quick. So you can keep on working. Never have to experience a delay. Why should you sacrifice your hobby time? You shouldn't. Okay, so there's that. Then I need these guys. Let's move this guy out of the way. He's drying. Okay. Gives me a little bit more room to play with. So they're saying the ankles, which is what these are, these ankle brackets. They clip in here. If you want the foot to move, I mean, I would like the foot to move. Oh, my dogs are going ape. So let's look at this way. So even though that allows you to move it without gluing it into place, you're still going to have to glue the foot down. So you're going to still choose where that leg is going to sit. And then I assume that is where the thigh goes. What a leg. Oh yeah. So you get some articulation with the hip and the thigh and then the foot. Now with Legion being a true line of sight game, you can just have this sucker stand straight up and get the maximum visibility on the field. But by doing so, you leave it way open to get shot to hell. So that may not be the best course of action. Huh. Yep. There's that. So we got that in there. And I did not glue those ankles. But I am going to glue the feet. So that is the right foot there, so a little bit of glue. A little bit of glue. And there it is. The foot has now been secured. Kind of. It's in the pegs, at least. And then I gotta decide how I'm gonna pose this sucker. This is one leg done. My hopes and dreams for this game totally hinge on how the ATSTs work. If the ATSTs work like they do in the movies, like in Return of the Jedi and Rogue One, where they are an intimidation piece and they instill fear, then I will be a happy camper. If they are a bullet sponge or bullet magnet and don't do jack on in the game, then I will be very disappointed. I will probably be disappointed. I typically really like it when things that are based on either historical or intellectual properties translate properly over from what their screen counterpart or history counterpart was over. Okay. So that's done. Kinda. So we got leg mount sections. Woo! Leg mount. But before we do that, I am going to go ahead and glue the butt. On this guy. Oh. Yeah, be careful. You don't want to break these if you end up buying any. Those are going to be a pain in the arse to correct if you break. Alright. Well, that's on there. That's sorted. The hip pieces look to be identical. It doesn't matter which leg they go into. And so they're supposed to go into this part here. Yep. And flip back to this, to the hip. I may pull the camera up to show you guys how posable this is. I actually am going to do that. Watch out, camera. Uh-oh. I mean, that thing is huge. The thing is flippin' huge. Holy cow. Holy cow. I mean, 40K Demon Prince. It comes up to the knee. Oh my gosh. And for giggles, Iron Wind Metals, Urban Mech 2C. Oh, comes up to the ankle. Wow. Okay. So you can definitely get a dynamic pose out of this thing. I mean, I haven't even glued anything yet. I mean, you can... Gosh. Alright. This is going to be a treat. I have no idea how I'm going to pose these things now. Again, probably in an intimidating fashion that gives up a lot of cover opportunities. That would be my guess. Assemble the head! Alright. So I got this ball and joint. Be careful you don't break the railing. I just think it sits in there. It doesn't snap in there. That's unfortunate. So you don't get any movement once you gotta glue it into place. That sucks. Okay. Okay. I get it. Alright. So that's there. And then for the chin turret, this is it right here. And that's going to go right there. Yep. Glue that into place. All right. Interesting. Alrighty. So this is the missile launcher. The canister. That's looks kind of dinky. But I'm not gluing the weapons in. they say to do it. I refuse. And these little caps here, or if you don't want to glue anything on, you can just pop those in there if you don't buy those upgrades. So, I don't think I want to glue them in there. I think I want them to rotate a little bit. We'll see. Alright, so last one is the mortar launcher, which I think is an auto-include, just because it gives suppression. And in-game suppression is always a good thing. So, okay. They don't give you a connector piece for the mortar at all on the side there. They just expect you to find the spot that fits right and just attach it. I feel like you're asking for trouble with that. I don't know. I think that's a mistake on their part, designing it the way they did. Where's that base? Phoenix, are you telling me it's time for dinner? Is that why you're up in my space, my personal space, baby girl? I would assume so. You're a dog of few words, but you are pretty clear when it comes to that. So to kind of give you an idea of what it looks like so far, dun dun dun. I think it's just tall as hell. I gotta figure that out. I gotta figure out what the pose will be. Now, I have to take a quick break to feed my dogs, and I probably should take a bio break as well. I will be back in about 5, maybe 10 minutes. If you gotta bounce, I appreciate you hanging out with me and talking to me, keeping me company while I've been doing this. It's been fun. Alright, it's dinner time. We're gonna go get dinner. That's what you want. And back. That's good. Thanks, guys, for understanding. The dogs needed me. I'm the only one here at the house right now, so their responsibility and care falls to me, the semi-responsible adult. Let's see here. Maybe I do want to glue that. I should have probably already done that. We'll figure that out. But for the most part, the ATST is assembled. I just got to figure out... I'm probably going to have to end up pinning that launcher to the side there. I mean, I just wish there was something. It just doesn't feel right. Now, one ATST kind of down. So move that off to the table. My two dogs, I've got a Labrador and an Australian cattle dog, a red heeler. We had a blue heeler a couple years ago, but he died with complications from a surgery. But if I could afford it, and if it were up to me, I would adopt all the dogs. Love dogs. So we're going to take a look at the speeder bikes. Now, look at those guys. Pull those cards out. Bases. Again, there's tokens. Tokens. Thank you. Cardboard tokens. All over the place. That's what we all need. It's cardboard tokens. Tokens. I think Fantasy Flight Games will be responsible for most of the deforestation in the world from how heavy they are with their tokens. Now this one I kind of cheated. I already opened this up hours ago, this box, and pre-sorted it. But again, on these, they're pretty easy. They're all slotted. There's no way to assemble these incorrectly. There's just no way. That arm goes there. So we should be able to slap these together rather quickly here. I guess the trick will be, or the question is, do I want to glue the arms on before painting? Just will it, to make it easier to paint the bikes. And so I think I'll just do a hybrid. I think I'm going to glue one arm in so he can sit down and slide in, and then glue the other one in. Paint it separately. I think that is the way to go. So he sits on that. Okay. We'll put the pilots aside for now. or the biker scouts. Boy, that is like... Boy, they are bold. Gosh, that's pretty terrible. Like, I say it's terrible. Okay, never mind. It's not. It fits. So yeah, you just gotta glue that down. Just gotta glue it down. So I think when I go to prime the bases tomorrow, wrap the bases in masking tape or the stems in masking tape so they don't get primed. I like them being clear. I've seen a lot of people paint them black. No thanks. Oh, the arms. Yeah, I could test that out. So, on the troopers, the rebel troopers, I did experience a little couple instances where they weren't flush. If you cut the peg, then they would be. On the stormtroopers, they were perfect. I had read online the stories of stuff not working. But yeah, this guy right here, if I choose the right arm, that is. So yeah, this guy right here is going to have problems with his left arm. And that's just because I'm fat fingering it. But he's got a little bit of crap on the end of his peg there. So once I clean that up, not much of a gap. Not much of a gap at all. That's not too bad. Let's look at the other guy. So again, he's got a little bit of crap at the end of his plastic nub, so I'm going to just trim that off. Get that in there. That piece looks clean. Oh, that's... Aw, son of a bitch. Stay in there, please. Please. He's actually shifting. I like that guy's pose. But, moving around. Not much of a gap there. Just a little bit there. But it's going in all the way. I think it's just how they designed it. And how they chose to manufacture it. Let me pull up the two Rebels that I had an issue with since you're talking about the flush thing. So on the Duro, you can see on that shoulder joint, on the right shoulder joint, where it's not exactly flush. And I did cut that. And then you have the left over here. Not exactly flush either. This guy is trouble. And then I want to say it's you. It is you. On her left shoulder, there's that gap. But, again, talking about stormtroopers, they're fine. And even if they did, you could just get away with it because of the armor plating. They're going to be a cheat. The Rebels are the issue. If you're going to have one. And I haven't even seen my Vader and Luke yet. I haven't cracked the core set yet. So, I'm not even sure of how that is. Now, the one thing I did notice on the speeder bikes is you have, where they pre-assembled this, right? You have gaps here, or sometimes it doesn't line up perfectly on the speeder bikes, on these two. They're just off just a little bit. A little bit of green stuff or sanding will take care of that. But I don't know if anyone's going to be really looking at the undercarriage to determine the sex of the speeder bike. Maybe somebody will. I'm not going to screw with it. It's not really important to me enough to do it. If it was up here, yes. I would be panicking and being pissed off about it, but right here, I don't care. I don't care enough. I just want to get these things painted and play. Yeah, I will use putty. I've got my handy dandy liquid green stuff ready to go. And because I'm out of traditional green stuff, I used it all up on my Battletech stuff, and I have not placed a new order. But the liquid will be fine. I'll use my scraping tool, or use a brush to apply it. It's pretty decent. But I got to determine. Okay, there we go. So again, we got to line it up with the hexes or the grid there. Alright, one speeder bike base done, or mounted rather. Let's move those cards out of the way. I'm going to get them in sleeves. Little bit of Loctite. Come on. Bond. Cool. I think these are going to go together pretty self-explanatory. Most of these models have. The only thing I'm worried about are the fins. I just think that those are going to be the most fiddly. Aw. Come on, go in there. That's what she said. Alright. Sweet. Nope. Yep, just go ahead and drop everything. That's fine. Drop bits all over the house. It's totally cool. So, we'll do the rucksack. Or blanket. Field pack, whatever you want to call it. There's that. And then we got the boot. The boot of the bike. I'm not even looking at the instructions. I just know how this is going to go. Yep. And see again, if you look at the bottom, the gaps are there. It doesn't really go together well on that back part. Especially you notice it under the undercarriage, but I mean no one's going to be seeing that. Hopefully. So while that's drying, let's go ahead and fiddle with this other one. Get him off of here. Boy, this is going to be a pain. I can tell you right now. I'm kind of surprised that Fantasy Flight didn't do something like X-Wing bases for the flying ones. How easy they can get off, they can be pulled off and on, but maybe the assumption is that you will permanently attach these to the base, which I don't know why you would. I mean, personal preference, I guess, but man, a little bit more glue there. Whoop. There we go. And now it'll stay. So we got our pedals. This guy's got a blaster we got to put on, so go ahead and do that. Its little pew pew. Interesting. So this guy. Now I have to look at the instructions now because there's no connector. It doesn't look like there's a connector for that little bit. Nope, that is the wrong sheet. Well. I'm a dumbass. It's right here. I'm looking all over for it. Okay. So if you look at... So if we look at the instructions here, it looks like there's a tab on the pedals there. I'm not seeing no tab on these pedals. I am not seeing anything. So, and there's no slot for that. And then you look for, I guess, the exhaust or the engine turbine there. And I don't see any holes for that either. Ah, nope. Nope. There it is. It's right there. It's right there in that little nub. Okay. So yeah, okay. I see it now. So yeah, that's where it goes. Yep. Alright, so not to sound like a Debbie Downer. We're assuming that those will launch on time. Those new box sets. I would just put that money in a 401k or a high interest Roth IRA or something, and just watch it, grow over time until release. You might be pleasantly surprised. Again, that's not me trying to sound negative or throw shade. I just think the company, Catalyst, is pretty small. And things that will go wrong, that could go wrong, probably will. Interesting. This sucks. This little engine thing sucks. I am going to have to do desperate measures, I think. Possibly. Yeah, Q3. Again, I don't want to sound negative. I like Catalyst. But I'm not getting my hopes up. I really want them to succeed. There it is. What is it, Toby? What is it, buddy? I'm going to have to just end up, I think, gluing these to the feet of the trooper to get those on. That seems kind of, for lack of a better word, shitty and stupid, but okay, whatever. When in Rome. Hey, bud. Nobody. No, no. You just got your DIN and ER. No, sir. That's right. Go to bed. Alright, so that's on there. I think there's a book coming out in June. The new book that's the lead up to the next timeline change. But on their website, they definitely have it. The box set's coming out at Q3. Which means that's cool and all. But I really won't believe it till I see the solicitation go out to the stores. Because I've got access to a distributor. And those haven't popped up yet. But the moment they go up for distributors, that's when I'll get excited. Because that's when we're getting close. That's when it's going to get real. Not a moment before. But again, I just don't... I don't want to get my hopes up again. I don't want to be disappointed. I'm just going in with a very realistic expectation. Here we go. Speeder bike. Meow. Put it on there while it dries. Smart. Yep. Yeah, the new PC game. I really think they missed the boat trying to... They should have... And I don't know what the reasoning was. Again, Catalyst is a really small company. They're the Catalyst demo team. They're all volunteers. They're all just very passionate fans like everybody else. The people that work in the office, it's not a big staff. And I think the holdup probably isn't the rules writing or anything like that. I would imagine that manufacturing of the plastic miniatures in China is the big deal. And for the rest of the world, that may not be a problem. But for the United States right now, if you're not up on current events, might be getting into a trade war with China. So that might impact us a little bit. But it wouldn't have impacted this. Like, in China, you got to do your orders way in advance for these companies to print and manufacture these things. And if they miss the boat on the CAD designs or something else, then that would push them back. If they couldn't get the CAD designs to print properly because they weren't in the right format, that would push it back. So there's any type of reason why. Again, they're a small company. So who knows? So you guys ready for a snow speeder? This is an easy one. This looks like it's going to be a super duper easy one. Boom. I would imagine they'll have books at the cons. Books, dice, pins. But they got to re-release the rule books too. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. So sorry. Did not mean to do that. Sorry again. Let's move the rebels back. And move the good guys, the Imperials, back as well. But I desperately want those new miniatures that are in those box sets. I want a good Locust model. I want a good, solid Locust. And I don't feel there's currently one out there. My buddy Midfield, who's played a couple battle reports with me, swears up and down the clan version is worthwhile, but I think he's full of it. I don't think it's good at all. Design-wise, like the miniature, the way it looks. Play-wise, I'm sure it's fine. I mean, I could put a quarter on the table and say it's a Locust. You know, that's a good question. I don't know why Topps wouldn't help them. It depends on how much Topps really values the IP or what the relationship is or Topps' investment into it. I don't know if you've been following the Harmony Gold lawsuit thing, but it looked like Catalyst didn't even respond to Harmony Gold with this latest lawsuit. That they let Harebrained Schemes and PGI deal with it. That they missed the representation date. I mean, that's terrible. I don't know. You would think that you would want to protect your IP and you would want to help push product out there. But I mean, again, I don't know the relationship between those companies. It's just that Catalyst licensed it from Topps. And the other flip side of it is, even though we really like the IP, and we think the IP has a lot of value to it, they may not think it does. And that could be it too. They may not value the IP very highly. We just don't know. I mean, I've thought for years that if you ever wanted to do Game of Thrones in space, you know, like on an HBO or Showtime or something like that, or Netflix, boom, there it is. Battletech's already ready there. You have the different houses. You have all the court intrigue. You've got war. You've got battle, betrayal, sex, whatever. That sucks. Ugh. Stay. But you have all that. That's all built in. It just requires somebody with a vision to go in there and pitch it and sell it. But that's, again, if they want to. Alright. So, on the Snowspeeder, yeah, it's weird Topps lawyers would come in. Sucks losing the... Yeah. I love the Marauder. It's one of my favorite mechs of all time. The Warhammer is okay, but the Warhammer I think is more iconic. You know, it was on the cover of the rule book, the box set, for how many years? You know, I don't equate the Warhammer design to the Destroid design in Macross at all. I mean, in Macross, the Destroids were so seldom used, and they were only in the background, they really didn't mean anything. They didn't really matter. But I don't know why. I don't know why they didn't. You know what? You might have the incest, Clint. You might have the incest. It all depends on how they really want to write, you know, House Liao. I mean, I definitely think you could fit in incest there. I am going to put the power harpoon on this guy. I am not going to put the ground buzzer. I mean, it's a snow speeder. It should have a flippin' harpoon, right? But that looks like an excellent candidate for a Battletech bit. So that will be going on to a mech soon. Put you in my bits box. So there it is. Glued that in place. Perhaps maybe I shouldn't have, but that's okay. So how I want to model this guy is that he's pulling out all the brakes to slow in to get his shot. And right now what I'm doing is just dry fitting the parts to see where they go. And then these are the flaps that go on the back. Okay. These are the butt flaps, latches, and then these are the top flaps. Okay, cool. Incest. That's... Again, if they had that in there, if they wanted to rewrite the Liao like that, it would be mother son instead of brother sister. So, I mean, that's a whole different, demographic you can go after. Yeah, I just want to glue it in there. I'll lose it. The game, I'm not really too worried about it. Okay. So those. So what's cool is you can do these flaps either down or up. And I don't know if you guys can hear my dogs fighting. Or playing, rather. They're not fighting. My cattle dog likes to pick on my Labrador. Oh, here comes the circus. No! I don't answer to you. Don't talk back to me. You're making demands that you shouldn't. Let's see if I can get the camera on them. Oh, you're going to rotate all around and boom. Yes. You're in glorious high definition. Yes. There we go. get it back. Hey, Toby, hang out. Just hang on. All right, Blackhawk, you have a good night. Thanks for hanging out, man. Really do appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed the pupper interlude there. Aw, you son of a biscuit. I know by gluing it this way, or modeling it this way, I'm just increasing the chances of it breaking. But I like to live dangerously. There you go. It's hitting those air brakes. So now, just have to glue these butt flaps down, and we'll be good to go on Snowspeeder or T47 number 1. They are not. They are not selling paints. Although it would not surprise me to see if they do what they did with what's it called? Rune Wars? Rune Wars? Yeah, that sounds right. Where they licensed out to Army Painter for Rune Wars branded paints. I would imagine that's coming. If that doesn't come, then it's probably a licensing deal with the license holder, which would be Disney Lucasfilm. Why they probably couldn't. Fantasy Flight may not have the license to sell Star Wars branded paint. But if Fantasy Flight continues to move in this direction, where they're making models like this for war games, then maybe Asmodee needs to buy a paint company. And I hate to give them ideas, but buying Army Painter may not be a bad idea. It may tick off Warlord and Mantic a little bit. But Asmodee has a history of just buying people outright. It's not like they don't have money. They're buying everything. It's kind of gross. There's that flap there. Anybody excited about Last Jedi coming out on home video next week? I know it's out on digital already, but I still do physical releases. sugar snaps. All right, sweet. Got the flaps. Looking awesome. Looking fly as hell. Base is ready. The body is willing. Yeah. Smexy. Looking good. And then comparison with a Stormtrooper. I could believe that 2 people could fit in this thing. I mean, this thing is supposed to be really, really super duper tiny. I could believe it. But look how cramped your legs would be. I mean, there's like no leg room. You're basically flying a coffin with a tow cable. A twin coffin with a tow cable. But yeah, no, I dig it. I dig it. Can you dig it? I can. I just said I did. Alright. So, we have another ATST. Another T-47. But I'm actually itching to put together Vader. So I'm going to crack open the base set here. Amazon's in deep shit with Disney. They have been for a while now. I've gotten... I got Rogue One, Force Awakens, and I'm going to get Last Jedi from Best Buy. Just because they're doing pre-orders and Amazon can't. It has to do with Amazon undercutting Disney suggested retail. And that started before Star Wars came back to the forefront. It started with Marvel movies on Blu-ray. Okay, where are you, Lord Vader? Hey everybody, look! It's dice! Dice! And barricades. And measuring tools. Okay, those are the speeder bikes. Speeder bike stands. Biker Scouts, ATRT, Troopers, okay. Okie dokie. So, as far as the sets go, I picked up one core set of Legion, and then one of every expansion. So one Rebel Trooper, one Speeder Bike, one Imperial Stormtrooper, one ATRT. And then I picked up 2 T-47s and then 2 ATSTs. And I'm glad I picked up the 2 ATSTs because apparently online, that's what's selling out. So I'd heard rumors that these barricades were basically bananas and they were warping on people. I mean, there's a slight bend, but nowhere near as bad as what I had heard. I would say fake news to those reports. Or just anecdotal. It's not widespread. But these are solid terrain pieces. I'm glad Fantasy Flight is selling them separately. These will go well with 40K and Necromunda and everything else. Just got to paint them. That's the unfortunate thing. If you do Best Buy, you get the Steelbook case. I don't know if that matters to you at all, Clint Thulu. Alright. You know, I don't even know why I didn't get out a red base for Luke here. Alright, so we have our other ATRT driver there. There's the other handle. Alright, cool. The gun. Interesting. Okay. So Vader. Get that hair out of the way. Torso-wise, looks good. No real mold lines to speak of. There's his helmet. A Big Daddy V. A little bit of mold lines across the dome like the Troopers. But that's to be expected. And then we got his stick. Slightly bent. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to worry about it. Then we got Not So Farm Boy Luke. I really don't like this pose for Luke. I'm not a fan of it. With him ready to swing home for the fences like he's in the big leagues. I really just don't like it. Baseball Luke, I am not a fan. Maybe Jedi Luke will be more interesting visually than that Luke. If we get a Jedi Luke. I hope we do. So, as far as the paint grabbing the models, you definitely want to prime them first. So, once you prime them, the primer adheres to the plastic or restic or whatever the heck this crap is. And once it's on there, then you can go ahead and apply paint. I mean, you could apply paint directly to the models. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it. You definitely want to prime them first, just to help create that adhesion. And clean up these little mold lines on the saber here. But yeah, I mean, it's... Oh, I may have goofed. I may have done goofed. I think you got to put the arm in first. This is what I do. This is what I get for not paying attention to the instructions. But yep, I done goofed. Forgive me, interwebs. There we go. Yeah, once you prime them, then you can put any type of acrylic or enamel on top. I do not recommend enamels. They suck. I mean, Tester's paint is great for model cars and RC and all that, but not good for these, unless you really know how to use them and know how to get good results. Enamels are just... bleh. But painting these guys, I mean, it's just going to come down to your practice level and your skill. Wow, I just now noticed that that's a big gap. Vader has a huge gap between his left shoulder and body. But I'll wait till he's dry on his base to show you guys. That's disappointing, but at least my Vader's complete. I saw a couple people reporting that their Vaders did not come with arms, so it's encouraging. No. I'm going to prime them one piece. I mean, I just glued them. I like to make things difficult for myself. Plus, there's a good chance you're never ever going to see that So I don't see the point other than not trying to put a brush up there or get creative with spraying with the primer. Vader's going to get primed with brush on primer anyway. I'm going to use Stynal Res on him. It's a brush on or spray primer. He's going to get that. He's probably going to be the first miniature I paint out of this whole set. And then the rest of the Imperials will be next. And then I'll do the Rebels last because I have the least interest in the Rebels. The only reason I'm going to paint the Rebels is for my wife or someone else to come over and play. And they get stuck being the Rebellion. But you know, Clint, I do commissions. Just saying. If you don't want to get your hands dirty. Okay. So, Luke is one that I have seen online with big gaps. And I'm trying to get him pushed in all the way. Again, that's what she said. So, Luke, we can see right here. And I actually did trim it. There is a gap. So that's going to have to be green stuffed. And then you look over here at the elbow joint on the second arm. And that's a gap. That's going to have to be fixed. And that's unfortunate. And he does have a mold line going down his face too. Which is the convenient part of it. It's on the jawline, so that makes it easy. I got a feeling Kristen would probably want to be Imperials. Unless there was a Hera. If Hera and the Rebels crew were available, then she'd be all about playing as the Rebellion. And sadly, probably I would probably be too. Give me the Rogue One group, or the Rebels crew, or Jedi Luke, and I'll get excited to play Rebels. So yeah, like I said, right there, bam, where that shoulder meets the cape, you just have those gaps. I'm going to have to just tuck in some green stuff there and hope for the best. But I do like his pose quite a bit. He's about to force choke a bitch. So father and son about to play catch. So you could model a baseball being thrown out of his hand and Luke's about to hit it with his bat. I don't know. I really just dislike this pose. I just... blech. Never mind that the face does not look like Mark Hamill at all. At all. But that's a minor quibble. Very, very minor. So here we go. Rebels and Stormtroopers from the core set. See, Rebel. Imperials. Heavy weapons team. Rebel leader. Stormtroopers. Yay, more Stormtroopers. Stormtroopers. Rebels. Rebels. Stormtroopers. Rebels. Alright, so we'll move the Rebels aside. Okay. I think the dogs are telling me that they need to go outside for some relief. I will be right back. Guys gotta go bathroom. Gotta go potty. And back. All right. So, buying the core set got me 2 squads of stormtroopers. Buying the 1 extra booster gives me 3 squads. So, I have 3 squads of troopers. Which will... that'll be enough. It should be enough. Especially in 800 points where I'm going to be running 2 ATSTs. I think it'll be enough. I just need someone to play this weekend. That'll be the trick. Should have everything assembled and primed. Just need someone to play. Have more of these damn baggies. They are. Everything has a point value. The one thing I would say it has over is how Fantasy Flight designs their games. Fantasy Flight typically will... everything is like card-based, right? And I'll show you what I mean by that here in a second. Where... the cards. So for example, if we look at the unit card here for the 74Z speeder bikes, you get their special rules and the weapon keywords there. Details about their firing arc. You have their point value right here. This tells you how many units are in the squad. So you get 2 speeder bikes for 90 points. And then you can equip them with this one particular upgrade slot. And so the only 2 cards right now that fill that upgrade slot, and you can tell that that's an upgrade because it's got that icon there, come with it. So you get the choice of either the long range comlink or the comms jammer. And each one is different points, so 10 and 15 respectively, and they each do something different. So for example, I buy this for 90 points, and I buy this for 10. Well, now that unit of 2 speeder bikes is 100 points. So I've used 100 points out of my 800 points possible. So I've got 700 left over. The trick is that you do have to buy a minimum of troops, and there is a maximum that you can have for fast attack units, heavy units, and specialists and leaders. So you have to abide by those rules as well. The color, they are going to be... they're going to come out with Death Troopers. So I'm not going to paint them black. I think I may do one squad in white, then another squad in blue with blue stripes, and another squad with the red stripes from the Coruscant Guard. I think that's probably how I'm going to go with it. Just to break it up a little bit. There's also the possibility that I just paint them all white. And but right now that's kind of how I'm leaning. For the ones that are just white, I may go ahead and paint Thrawn's emblem on their armor that he had his stormtroopers wear in Rebels, to denote that they are from Thrawn's division, the 7th Fleet. So I don't know. The sky's the limit. Got to paint them white first and then move from there. But I really do like the Coruscant Stormtrooper red, where they've got those red stripes and the red detailings on their helmets. But I think that's going to be the end of the stream, because I'm being told that I really need to go play with 2 dogs. They keep bringing toys down to the basement here and looking at me. And I feel guilty. But all in all, I mean, these things go together really fast. These are not complicated. Some of the Games Workshop miniatures, they require a lot more effort than these. A lot more effort. It's just I would not use like super glue or Tamiya plastic glue, because these definitely are not your traditional plastic. These are a resin plastic hybrid, a Restic, and you want to use something like Loctite to put them together. Boy, that almost killed that bottle. Holy crap. Good thing I got another. But thanks, guys, for watching. I really do appreciate it, hanging out with me. As I start painting them, I'm going to start doing more live streams as I'm painting these guys. And I'm going to do more live streams in period for anytime I'm doing hobby stuff, because I think it's a good way to hang out with you guys and get inspired to do more hobbying. So you guys have a good night, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're at.